On the wedding day, during the bridal pickup ceremony, my fiancé used his secretary's car sickness as an excuse to make me sit in the second car. As the bride, I didn't even get to sit in the lead car, absolutely unheard of. I turned to my future mother-in-law and future sister-in-law for help, but shockingly, they were completely in sync and advised me to be magnanimous. Relatives and friends were all watching, waiting for me to make a fool of myself. Especially those jealous coworkers of mine. They already had their phones out, ready to record and ridicule me in their group chats. I walked straight to the front passenger seat of my childhood friend's car. Didn't he once say he couldn't bear to see me marry someone else? Well then, how about going to get the marriage certificate right now? My childhood friend was over the moon and immediately took off with me. But the moment my ex-fiancé's family found out I'd already registered my marriage with someone else, they panicked. This morning, I got up bright and early. We finally completed all the steps of the bridal pickup. Just as I was holding the embroidered dress and the wine cups, ready to get in the wedding car, Ryan stopped me. "Hold on," he said. "You'll ride in the second car." It took me a second to process. "Emily gets carsick," he explained. "She has to sit up front. Just bear with it. It's not a long ride anyway." "Ryan, today is our big day," I said. "I'm the bride, and you're putting me in the second car while your secretary rides in the lead car with you? You think that's appropriate?" I continued. "Besides, when people get carsick, they usually need a window down. At most, they might sit in the front passenger seat. This is the first time I've ever heard someone insist they must ride in the lead car because of motion sickness." Emily could hardly hide her smug smile. "Sorry, Olivia," she said. "My condition is a little unusual. Ryan was just being considerate. He insisted I sit with him. I didn't want to, honestly. After all, it's not exactly traditional." I was furious. "So you know it's not traditional, huh?" But since there were so many relatives and friends around, I held back my anger and tried to keep a neutral tone as I said, "The lead car is always meant for the bride and groom. If you let Emily ride with you, people might think you're marrying her, not me." Ryan replied, "Why care what others think? As long as the people here know I'm marrying you, that's all that matters." Seeing I couldn't reason with him, I went straight to his mom. Ryan insisted on letting his secretary ride in the lead car with him and told me to just find another car in the back. His mom didn't say a word, but his sister came over and said, "Come on, Olivia, just go with it. Why make a fuss and come tattling to Mom?" Ryan's super busy with work and always needs his secretary close by. If something comes up on the road, it's more convenient for the two of them to be together. You two are about to be husband and wife. You should learn to be more understanding. That's when it hit me. This entire family was siding with an outsider. Ryan had already opened the car door for Emily and watched her get in. Relatives and friends around us were all whispering, some surprised, some disapproving, but most were just enjoying the show, waiting to see me humiliated. A few coworkers from the office, the ones who had always been at odds with me, didn't even bother hiding it. They pulled out their phones and started filming, panning between the lead car and me. As they recorded, they narrated sarcastically, "Look at this. Karma hitting the fake fiancé real quick. Ryan married her, but won't even let her ride in the lead car. Emily is clearly his true love. So what if the fake fiancé forced a marriage? She still doesn't get to share the same car with him." Their commentary grew uglier by the second. I couldn't hold it in anymore and shouted, "Shut up, all of you." Reluctantly, they put their phones away. One of them sneered, "Olivia, even if you schemed your way into this marriage, you'll never hold the same place in Ryan's heart as Emily does. If you had any dignity, you'd just go home." "Why should I?" I shot back. "This wedding is happening today. If I call it off now, I'd just be handing that homewrecker Emily exactly what she wants." Everyone thought I'd forced Ryan to marry me, but it was the exact opposite. To get me to be his girlfriend, Ryan rented out an entire cruise ship. He lit up 999 fireworks at the most glamorous spot on the waterfront. To get me to agree to marry him, Ryan proposed 18 times. The last time, despite being deathly afraid of heights, he jumped from the highest bungee jump tower in the world, just because I'd once said, "If you dare jump from up there, I'll marry you." No matter how beautiful the past was, now it had all become a joke in the eyes of others. I picked a car at random, opened the passenger side door, and got in. A bride who's not even allowed to sit in the lead car. Are you sure you still want to go through with this wedding? I turned my head and saw it was Connor, my childhood friend who I'd grown up with, practically since we were in diapers. Are you here to laugh at me? I asked. Back when I decided to marry Ryan, Connor had strongly opposed it. We fought about it several times and nearly cut ties completely. I don't have that kind of time, he said plainly. After a brief silence, he added, if you say right now that you don't want to go through with the wedding, I'll take you away this instant, right to the ceremony venue. After everything he's done to you, you still want to marry him? He slammed his palm hard against the steering wheel, but still started the engine and began driving me toward the wedding location. We were barely halfway there when, out of nowhere, a compact car came barreling toward us and crashed straight into us. Thankfully, Connor had excellent reflexes and managed to swerve just enough. We only got scraped slightly. A girl in a mini skirt jumped out of the other car and came running over to our window, pounding on it furiously. What kind of driving is that? You've wrecked my car. Nobody's leaving until someone pays for the damage. You stay in the car, Connor told me calmly. I'll handle this. She looked oddly familiar, but I couldn't place her right away. Just then, Ryan called. Where are you? He asked. We've been here forever. Why aren't you here yet? I was in a car accident, I replied. From nearby, I heard a woman's voice. A car crash on such a big day. That's gotta be a bad omen. Maybe it's a sign from above that this wedding shouldn't happen. Don't talk nonsense, Ryan cut her off. Olivia, just get a cab here right away, or you'll be late for the ceremony. A knot tightened in my chest. I was in an accident, and the first thing he worried about wasn't whether I was hurt, it was that I might delay the wedding. My wife's got 9 lives, she'll be fine, Ryan said lightly. Just get over here. Everyone's waiting. Then he hung up. As soon as I stepped out of the car, the girl grabbed my wrist roughly. You can't leave. No one in this car is leaving. She was the same girl who had crashed into us on purpose. Seeing her up close, I finally recognized her. I didn't know her name, but I'd seen her once at the office. She was Emily's best friend. Connor immediately stepped between us. This is my car. If you've got a problem, talk to me. No way, she snapped. No one's allowed to leave. How do I know you didn't hit me on purpose? Lady, there's street surveillance all over this area, he said. You were the one who rammed into us. I don't care. No one's going anywhere. I let out a cold laugh. Emily sent you to delay me, didn't she? She flinched, clearly not expecting me to recognize her. I don't know who Emily is, she stammered. Never heard of her. Right then, my phone rang again. It was a video call from Emily. I answered, and there she was, wearing my custom-designed wedding gown. My makeup artist, the one who was supposed to be with me, was standing behind her, styling her hair. Hi, Olivia, she said sweetly. Do I look good? Don't take it the wrong way, she went on. Ryan said you might not make it in time and didn't want to delay the ceremony, so he asked me to stand in for you. No need to rush over. I'll live stream the entire wedding for you. Anyway, I have to go. The ceremony's about to start. I quietly sat back down in the car, watching my wedding unfold smoothly without me. Every inch of the venue's decor, every flower, every ribbon, was something I'd personally chosen. But now, standing there in my place was someone else. As the ceremony reached its climax, the MC raised his voice. You may now kiss the bride. Ryan didn't hesitate for even a second. He leaned down and kissed her. The camera zoomed in for a close-up of the kiss. When they pulled apart, a glistening string still connected their lips. I felt a wave of nausea rise. I flung open the car door and vomited. Connor quickly reached over and patted my back. What's wrong? Why are you throwing up all of a sudden? I'll take you to the hospital. I quickly waved him off, took the water he handed me, and rinsed my mouth. The embroidered wedding dress I was wearing felt more and more suffocating by the second. I just wanted to get out of it as fast as possible. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a bag in the back seat. I reached for it and saw that it contained a freshly laundered dress shirt and slacks, Connor's clothes. I pulled off the ornate hair accessory, locking my updo in place, and changed into Connor's clothes. The shirt and pants were way too big, but I used some hair ties to cinch the sleeves, cuffs, and waistband, making them just barely wearable. Right then, my phone rang again. Emily's voice came through the video call. "Olivia, wasn't that wedding amazing?" she said sweetly. "In a bit, I'll be going around with Ryan to toast all the guests. Funny thing, none of your family seems to notice that the bride has changed. They don't look the slightest bit concerned. Oh, and I won't live stream the toasting part. Kinda drains the battery, you know? Anyway, bye." Connor got back in the car, rolling his eyes. "That woman is insane. I can't be bothered dealing with her. I'll have my assistant take care of it." When he looked over and saw me dressed completely differently, his eyes nearly popped out of his head. "Ah, you sure you're okay with wearing my clothes?" He stared at me for a second, stunned. "Wait, does this mean you're not going to the wedding anymore?" Ryan and Emily already finished the whole ceremony. I looked at him and said, "Connor, didn't you say you didn't want me to marry someone else? So, wanna go get our marriage license now?" He was stunned for a second. "Are you saying you want us to go register the marriage?" I nodded. "If you're not willing, it's fine." Connor instantly lit up like a Christmas tree. "Of course I'm willing. Why wouldn't I be? I've only been waiting forever for this." Without another word, he floored the gas and sped toward the Civil Affairs Bureau. And just like that, the two of us, half confused, half excited, got our marriage certificate. "Let's go," I said. "To the hotel." Connor blushed so hard his ears turned red. "That fast, huh? We're moving kinda quick. I haven't even held your hand yet. What are you thinking?" I shot him a look. "I meant the wedding hotel. The banquet probably hasn't ended yet. We're going to attend Ryan and Emily's wedding as guests and drop off a gift." "Got it." Once we arrived at the hotel, I grabbed a red envelope, stuffed $38 in it, and followed Connor to an inconspicuous corner seat in the banquet hall. After waiting for a while, Ryan and Emily finally made their way to our table to toast. At first, they ignored me completely, acting as if I wasn't there. But when it came time to toast me directly, Ryan finally noticed. "Olivia? When did you get here? And whose clothes are you wearing?" The bride changed, and I'm still wearing the original outfit. Don't you think that's ironic? "Don't get the wrong idea," Ryan said quickly. "It's just that when I heard you'd been in an accident and might not make it, I asked Emily to stand in and finish the ceremony. Otherwise, the timing would have been off, and it wouldn't have been right to keep all the guests waiting." I nodded. "I understand." Just then, Ryan's stepmother and his older brother Dylan came over. "Whoa, sis-in-law," Dylan said. "What are you wearing? Those look like men's clothes?" Ryan's stepmother chimed in. "Olivia, I'm not trying to be harsh, but seriously? Just because Ryan didn't let you ride in the lead car, you skipped the entire wedding ceremony and made him look bad? That's incredibly immature. If Emily hadn't stepped in, our whole family would have lost face. You can't pull something like this again. Even if Ryan spoils you, I absolutely won't tolerate it." I looked at her and said calmly, "Didn't anyone tell you I got in a car accident? Oh, and the person who hit me was Emily's best friend. She's already been detained by the police for deliberately crashing into us. It's definitely a criminal matter now." Emily's face turned pale instantly. Ryan quickly jumped in to defend her. "What best friend? Are you seriously implying Emily told her friend to hit you on purpose? Isn't that exactly what happened?" "Impossible," Ryan snapped. "I know Emily better than anyone. She's kind, gentle, and has no hidden agendas. There's no way she'd do something like that." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Ryan, for trusting me. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to defend myself." Ryan put an arm around her. "Don't worry, some people just don't know how to appreciate kindness." "Are you calling me a dog now?" I said coldly. "I just want you to understand," Ryan said, "that Emily really helped us out today." "You should be grateful to her, not slinging dirt on her like that," Ryan said sharply. "Apologize to her right now. I was even planning to throw you another wedding to make up for this. But if you don't apologize, forget about the wedding altogether." I let out a cold laugh. "If you won't give me a wedding, someone else will, right, husband?" Connor leaned in and gently kissed my forehead. "Absolutely." Ryan blinked like he hadn't heard me right. "What did you just call him? Did you say husband?" "I did. He's my husband now, legally. Thanks for not marrying me, Ryan. Because of that, I'm officially Mrs. Carter. Ryan's face twisted in disbelief. Olivia, what the hell is this? I'm your husband. We just had our wedding. No, you're mistaken. The one who just had a wedding with you is Emily. I only played along with a few door games this morning for fun. But the person who walked the full ceremony with you, that wasn't me, was it? I've told you so many times, Ryan insisted. Emily was just standing in for you. You're the bride. Sorry, but I don't need a stand-in to complete my wedding. Then what exactly are you saying now? I thought I'd made it clear, I said flatly. We're done. Ryan looked stunned. I smiled and continued. Honestly, I should thank you, Ryan. If you hadn't insisted on getting the marriage license after the wedding, I wouldn't have had the chance to choose someone else. So, I sincerely wish you and Emily a long and happy life together and lots of kids. I shoved the red envelope into Emily's hand. Here's my wedding gift to you both. She opened it right then and there. What? Only $38? Because that's exactly what you're worth. Emily's face turned an ugly shade of green. Ryan, I helped you out of kindness, and she just called me a 38? In Chinese slang, 38 implies being cheap or trashy. Ryan stepped toward me, his voice low and furious. Olivia, we've got so many guests here. Your own family's here too. This is not the time for your little tantrum. My parents died early. Those so-called relatives and friends, they're all distant. If it weren't for you insisting I invite more people so the wedding wouldn't feel empty, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to call every single one of them. I even spent a ton of money putting this together. Most of them don't even know what I look like. So what if they see me make a scene? It's not like I'll ever see them again. Ryan's face turned dark and thunderous. Olivia, none of this had to happen. You're the one making it ugly. I'll give you one last chance. Apologize to Emily, and I'll pretend none of this happened. Otherwise, don't bother coming back to our new home tonight. I'll have to seriously reconsider our relationship. I sneered. Even if you begged me to come back, I wouldn't. But I do need to go back once. A lot of the stuff in the new house is mine. Now that we've broken up, I'll be taking it with me. You're okay with that, right? Anyway, I said with finality, I'm done talking. I linked arms with Connor. Babe, come with me. I've got packing to do. The two of us walked past Ryan without a second glance. His face turned red with rage. Olivia, you really have to humiliate me in front of everyone? Ryan stormed after me. Emily, wobbling on her high heels, chased after him. Ryan, don't waste your time on Olivia, she whined. The more you indulge her, the worse her attitude gets. We should go back inside and finish the toast. There are still so many guests waiting. Suddenly, I heard a loud yelp. Emily had fallen. Ryan glanced at me up ahead, then back at her. In the end, he turned around and went to help her. Connor and I returned to what was supposed to be our newlywed home, well, mine and Ryan's. Without saying a word, I started packing. Everything I could take, I packed. What I couldn't take, I smashed. Thinking about how Ryan and Emily were going to live here in the future made my stomach turn. I'd rather destroy it than let that shameless couple benefit from it. After making sure I'd taken everything that mattered, I looked around one last time. I used to imagine building a life here with Ryan, getting married, having kids, growing old together. But now all of that was gone. This place would never belong to me. Before leaving, I transferred back the $3 million engagement gift Ryan had given me. Then I blocked every possible way he could contact me. No point hanging on to anything. Just looking at this place made me sick. We'll have a better home in the future, Connor said softly. How about we go look at houses tomorrow? The villas at East Lake open for sale then. I nodded. Sure. Then, can I stay at your place tonight? I asked, almost too quietly to hear. Connor froze for a moment, and then his ears turned bright red. We're legally married now. We should be living together anyway. I know you're probably doing this to spite Ryan, but I'm still really happy. I couldn't bring myself to look him in the eye. Even though we'd known each other for over 20 years, having shared almost every stage of life, transitioning from friends to lovers still felt awkward. When we arrived at Connor's place, I didn't know whether to sit or stand. I'd been here before, many times, but I'd never felt so self-conscious. Connor seemed nervous too, his face as red as an apple. Why don't you take a shower first? I'll go after you're done. Okay. I escaped into the bathroom, standing under the hot water for a long time while giving myself a serious pep talk. We already got our marriage license. We're husband and wife. There's no need to be shy. After getting my nerves under control, I stepped out and went to the bedroom to wait for him. Once Connor finished his shower, we naturally fell into the kind of intimacy married couples are supposed to have. I had seriously underestimated this man. Not only was his face handsome, but his body was absolutely stunning. And to my surprise, in that department, he completely blew Ryan out of the water. Let's just say I was very satisfied. The next morning, after breakfast, Connor drove me to East Lake to look at houses. We were both immediately drawn to a newly completed villa and decided on the spot to sign the contract. I had just picked up the pen when a loud voice suddenly called out from behind me. "Olivia, I finally found you." Ryan came running toward me. "Last night, I went back to our place and found you'd taken all your things and even returned the $3 million dowry. I tried calling you to apologize, but your phone wouldn't go through. I went to your place too, but no one was there. Then today, someone told me they saw you near East Lake, so I rushed over. Olivia, I thought it over all last night. I really didn't handle the wedding well. It makes sense that you're angry. If you want to vent, that's fine, but don't ignore me. We're husband and wife. Couples fight, sure, but they make up. I came today to apologize. I'm even planning to give you a proper wedding this time. I'll make sure you marry me with all the glory you deserve." I let out a cold laugh. "Ryan, you still think I'm just trying to make a point? You don't get it. We're done. I have a new life now, a new family. Please don't come looking for me again." "Don't say stuff you don't mean," Ryan said, his tone tightening. "Olivia, I know you can't live without me. We've been together for 8 years. That kind of relationship doesn't just end. Oh, so because we were together 8 years, you think no matter how badly you treat me, I'll never leave? Is that it?" "Ryan, I'm not some pathetic woman clinging to a one-sided relationship. I'm Olivia Lynn. I loved you because I believed in your loyalty, but now that you've betrayed me, I'm done loving you." "I only had Emily fill in for the ceremony," he said quickly. "Nothing actually happened between us." "Nothing happened?" I scoffed and immediately pulled up the wedding video from yesterday. "You two kissed in front of everyone, Ryan. Tongue and all? You call that nothing?" Ryan's face twisted in panic. "That was just for the cameras. Just a camera angle." "Camera angle?" I raised a brow. "Then how do you explain the spit string between your mouths?" Realizing he couldn't cover it up anymore, Ryan gave a weak excuse. "It was just the heat of the moment. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Olivia, I swear, nothing real happened between me and Emily. The whole wedding was a mistake." "I don't want to hear your lies," I cut him off. "Right now, my husband and I are buying our home. Kindly get out of our way." Ryan sneered. "You mean Connor? He's your childhood buddy. You've known each other over 20 years and never got together. And now suddenly, after one day, he's your husband." I wrapped my arm around Connor without hesitation. "That's right. You got a problem with that?" Ryan scoffed. "Yeah, right. Like I'd believe that." "Babe," I turned to Connor with a sweet smile. "You got our marriage license with you?" "Show him," I said. Connor pulled our marriage certificate out of his bag and held it up right in front of Ryan's face. "Open your eyes and take a good look. Am I her legal husband or not?" Ryan stared at the certificate, frozen for several seconds. You actually got married to him?" "That's right," I said. "I told you yesterday we're legally married." Ryan's eyes turned red. "Olivia, how could you be so impulsive? Marriage isn't a joke. How could you just go and register with someone like that? Did you even stop to think about how I'd feel?" "And why would I care how you feel?" I snapped. "Do I need your permission to get married? Did you think about my feelings when you were up on stage kissing Emily?" Ryan took a deep breath. "Olivia, what's done is done. I don't want to fight with you about it. Just go and get a divorce. I'll pretend none of this happened and we can start over. We'll get our license, then do the wedding properly." Connor couldn't stay silent anymore. "Are you out of your damn mind?" he burst out. "Do you not understand English? She's done with you. My wife is done with you. She's mine now, legally. You lay off, or I won't be so polite next time." Ryan shoved Connor hard. "Who the hell do you think you are? Olivia doesn't love you. She only married you to spite me. You think she really cares about you? You don't get to decide who she loves, Connor said coldly. Maybe she loved you before, but now she's with me. And I'm the only one in her heart. You jerk, trying to steal my wife? You really think I'll let you get away with this? Ryan roared, raising his fist. But before he could land a punch, Connor struck first, his foot landing squarely between Ryan's legs. Ryan's face turned purple in pain as he doubled over. You dared to sucker punch me? He growled. I'm going to kill you. Ryan lunged again, but Connor had trained in Sanda, Chinese kickboxing, and Ryan was no match. Within a few quick moves, Connor had him on the ground, groaning and unable to get up. Just then, Emily came rushing over. Oh no, Ryan, what happened to you? She knelt beside him, panicking. Sue him, send a lawyer's letter, make him pay until he's bankrupt. She glared up at Connor. You hit Ryan? You won't last a day in Haicheng after this. Helping Ryan up, Emily pleaded. Ryan, I told you not to go looking for Olivia. She's still mad. You could have said anything, and she wouldn't have listened. You should have just come back with me. Give it a few months. Once she calms down, she might come back to you on her own. Ryan suddenly shoved Emily aside and glared at me. Olivia, are you seriously going to be with that loser? He's just a wage slave. What can he possibly give you? You think he can even afford this villa you're looking at? Even if he could buy it, you'd be buried in a lifetime of mortgage payments. If you like this house so much, I'll buy it. Hell, I'll buy the whole neighborhood for you. Connor gave a cold laugh. Big talk, Ryan. Buying the whole Eastlake development would cost at least $10 billion. Can you cough up that kind of money? Ryan's jaw clenched. He obviously couldn't. Even if I don't have money, he sneered, I'm still 10 times the man he is. If he can afford even a bathroom in this place, I'll change my last name to match his. Well, Connor smirked, looks like your new name's going to be Carter. Better start practicing your signature. Keep dreaming, Ryan snapped. Do you even know who the developer of this property is? It's Citigroup. Don't tell me you're about to say you're the heir of Citigroup or something. Connor grinned. If you really are the heir to Citigroup, Ryan scoffed, I'll get on my knees and bow to you right now. Connor smiled wider. Remember what you just said, Connor replied coolly. He waved over the manager of the Eastlake property. This gentleman here, Connor said, nodding toward Ryan, wants to buy out the entire Eastlake Villa development. Take him to swipe his card. The manager looked a bit surprised. Sir, I can't just let someone swipe a card just because they say so. How do I know this isn't some scam you and the sales staff cooked up to trick me? I'm not buying it. I'm not that easy to fool. The manager shrugged. Doesn't matter to us. These villas sell themselves. But if you don't have the money, don't act like you do. Coming up with lame excuses is just embarrassing. Whether I buy or not is my business, Ryan snapped. Who said that just because I said it, I have to go through with it? Don't try to change the subject. Now it's his turn to prove he's the heir to Citigroup. No problem, Connor said, pulling out his phone and dialing. I'll call my grandpa. You should at least recognize him, right? Who the hell's your grandpa? Why would I know him? The call connected. Hey, Grandpa, are you busy? Connor said casually. The CEO of Tianzuo Tech, Mr. Ryan Lee, wants to say hello. He handed the phone to Ryan. This is my grandfather. Ryan looked like he'd been hit by lightning. His eyes went wide. Hello, Chairman Chen. I'm Ryan Lee from Tianzuo Tech. On the screen, Connor's grandfather gave a slight nod. Ah yes, I've heard Connor mention you before. Weren't you Olivia's fiancé? Connor took the phone back. Grandpa, he's not Olivia's fiancé anymore. Good news, I just got married to Olivia yesterday. She's your granddaughter-in-law now. The old man paused, then burst out laughing. Wonderful. I've been hoping for Olivia to join our family for so long. You little rascal. You kept dragging your feet and drove me crazy. I wasn't dragging my feet, Connor said. I just never had the chance. But now it's done. She's my wife. That's fantastic. Bring her home for dinner tonight. I'll have the chef prepare all her favorite dishes. Will do, Connor said, then hung up. Ryan was still frozen. You're really the heir to Citigroup? What do you think? Connor replied. How do you think your company landed all those projects with Citigroup? If it weren't for Olivia, you wouldn't have even qualified to bid. He stepped forward. So are you ready to kneel and bow like you promised? Ryan broke out in a sweat. If he did it, he'd lose all dignity. If he didn't, he'd be eating his words. And he couldn't afford to offend Connor now. In the end, he had no choice but to kneel and bow to Connor, quickly and awkwardly. I didn't even bother to look at him. "Ah, that reminds me," I said suddenly. "Can you come with me to the office real quick? I want to hand in my resignation and pick up my things." Ryan's eyes were bloodshot. "You're quitting your job just to avoid me?" "I was never happy in that job," I said. "If you hadn't said you wanted to see me every day, I never would have stayed in admin for so long. I majored in finance. But for your sake, I spent 8 years doing grunt work. Now it's time I enjoyed my life." I smiled and leaned against Connor. "My husband's rich enough that I could lie around at home for the rest of my life and still never run out of money. Right, babe?" Connor kissed me on the forehead. "Of course, what's mine is yours. Let's go then." Connor drove me to the office. I finished writing my resignation letter in just a few minutes. I printed it out and tossed it on Ryan's desk. "Mr. Lee, I quit. I won't approve it," Ryan said stubbornly. "I'm leaving whether you approve it or not. I'll forfeit this month's paycheck if I have to." The coworkers who never liked me were all craning their necks to see what was happening. I walked straight toward them. "I got married yesterday," I said. "Could you send me the videos you filmed? I'd like to keep them." The group looked at each other in awkward silence. "I just want the videos," I said. "I'm not here to cause trouble." They hesitated, then finally sent them over. Just as I was about to leave, I ran into my stepmother and my stepsister Grace at the office entrance. "Olivia, enough is enough," my stepmother snapped. "You've made your point. Don't take it too far. These past 2 days, your sister and I haven't been eating or sleeping well." "That's because no one's been cooking for you," I replied flatly. "But don't worry, Emily can take my place from now on. You can order her around instead." "That's not going to work. She's just Ryan's secretary. The only daughter-in-law of the Lee family I recognize is you." "You only recognize me because of my background," I said with a cold laugh. "Because my family has money and can help Ryan. What you really want is to leech off me." "Olivia, that's really harsh," Grace snapped. "We came here ourselves because we see you as family." "Then don't take me for a fool," I said. "Family like you? I'm not worthy. You should go find Emily. She's your kind of people." I shoved Grace out of the way and walked off without looking back. That night, a friend forwarded me a video from TikTok. "Olivia, you've got to see this," she said. "Someone's smearing your name." I opened the video. It had been posted by an anonymous account. Even though everyone's face in the clip had been blurred, it was obvious that the bride was me. The video had been edited with misleading clips and voiceovers using a voice changer. The captions were full of malicious lies. "Bride caught cheating with childhood friend on wedding day." "Groom walks in on bride wearing another man's clothes." "Wedding canceled on the spot. Groom marries his secretary instead." The comments were brutal. "This bride is disgusting. About to get married and still messing around with some guy." If I were the groom, I'd be furious. "She's so thirsty, might as well go sell herself. Total slut. No shame at all. Her parents must be trash too to raise someone like that." Others were busy celebrating Ryan and Emily. The groom should have been with the secretary from the start. The bride didn't deserve to marry into a wealthy family anyway. The groom and secretary are soulmates. What a perfect match. They were meant to be. Wishing them all the happiness in the world. Reading those comments, I actually laughed. I knew Emily would try to make a scene over me wearing Connor's clothes. Good thing I'd prepared in advance. I immediately uploaded the raw footage that my coworkers had recorded, along with a separate video explaining everything. "Hi, I'm the bride in the video. First, I did not spend the day with my childhood friend. My fiancé refused to let me ride in the lead car, saying his secretary gets carsick. He completely ignored my feelings and rode off with her in the front. That's why I got in my friend's car. On the way there, I was deliberately hit by Emily's best friend. Then, claiming I couldn't make it in time, Ryan had Emily step in for me during the ceremony. I was so furious. I changed out of my wedding dress and ended the engagement. As of now, Emily's best friend is in police custody and under criminal investigation for the intentional crash. I take full legal responsibility for everything I've said, and I'm officially filing charges against whoever posted that defamatory video." I also released video evidence showing how Ryan had pursued me, including all 18 of his public proposals. It made it very clear that I wasn't some manipulative green tea bitch who forced him into marriage. As soon as my clarification video was released, the public turned immediately. People who'd been bashing me before turned their anger toward Emily. They also dragged Ryan, his stepmother, and Grace into the mess. That secretary is the real manipulative one. I've never heard of someone needing the lead car just because they get carsick. What next? Needing it when you have a headache? The groom and secretary are both garbage. She made up some pathetic excuse to sit with him, and he let her. Something fishy's going on. And don't even get me started on the groom's mom and sister. Trash, the lot of them. Support for the bride. Good on her for walking away. These people have the nerve to frame the bride online? If she hadn't saved the evidence, she'd be ruined. They're vicious, absolutely disgusting. Why aren't they in jail? The online backlash was massive. Internet users not only dug up the identities of Ryan and Emily, but also exposed the address of Ryan's company. Angry netizens launched a full-scale public shaming campaign. Several business partners pulled out of contracts with Ryan. Citigroup also terminated all collaboration with him and blacklisted him across the entire industry. In just one night, Ryan's company went bankrupt. Meanwhile, I officially filed a lawsuit against Emily for slander and defamation. The next time I saw Ryan, he looked like a completely different person. His eyes were sunken, and he'd lost so much weight he was barely recognizable. Grace was trailing behind him, no longer glowing with self-importance, both of them looking disheveled and defeated. "Olivia, I owe you an apology," Ryan said, voice hoarse. "I looked into it. The person who hit you was indeed Emily's best friend. I was fooled by that lying snake. I've already fired her. I came today to offer you a sincere apology. I know I wronged you. I was hoping, maybe for old time's sake, you could help me out. My mom's fallen ill because the company's collapse. She was always good to you, maybe for her sake." "Can you ask Connor to help me?" Ryan pleaded. "Yes, Olivia," Grace added quickly. "We were almost family. You wouldn't want to see us end up like this, would you?" "Why wouldn't I?" I said with a cold smile. "Didn't you bring this on yourselves? If you hadn't spread false rumors about me online, I wouldn't have exposed all your dirty secrets. You started this. I'll decide when it ends." Ryan's face contorted. "Are you trying to kill my mom? She's still in the hospital on oxygen. She won't survive another blow." "She's in the hospital because of your actions, not mine. This is the price you pay. If you had the nerve to do what you did, you should have been ready to face the consequences. You hurt me without a second thought because you assumed I'd never fight back. But I told you long ago, I'm not the kind of woman who loves blindly. And now, I don't love you at all. For everything you've done to me, I'll pay it back tenfold. You should be grateful. Emily was the one who posted that defamatory video. You used her as your weapon. If it had been you personally, you'd be facing more than bankruptcy, you'd be facing jail time." "Olivia Lynn," Ryan whispered, trembling. "How can you be so heartless? I was always good to you, wasn't I? All this just because I didn't let you sit in the lead car? You're really going to destroy me over that?" Just then, my assistant handed me an envelope. I tossed it straight at Ryan's chest. "You really think you were good to me?" I said, my voice sharp. "While we were still dating, you were having an affair with Emily. You even got her pregnant. If I've made any mistake in my life," I said, "it was wasting 8 years on you." When Ryan saw the photo inside the envelope, the last bit of color drained from his face. He collapsed to his knees, sobbing uncontrollably. "I'm sorry, Olivia," he choked. "I really am. I messed up. Yes, I slept with her. But the only person I ever loved was you. You disgust me, Ryan." I turned to security. "Please escort them out." As they were being dragged away, Grace was still yelling, begging me to help them. I didn't even look back. Soon after, Ryan's company completely folded. He was left drowning in debt. Emily was sentenced to 3 years in prison for defamation and spreading false information online. And on the very same day, I received the most incredible news of my life. I was pregnant. All those painful people and events were behind me now. My heart was full, looking forward to the new life growing inside me. End of story 1.